Okay, this shows that the router is hacked. AT&T is the problem. They're sending Trojan horses in their routers. This is brand new, replaced yesterday. When I showed the agent that we don't have the umbilical cord hooked up. See, there's no internet to the internet provider. The only thing I have hooked up is this one computer, and it doesn't matter which computer I use. I have 100 and who knows how many computers here. I've tried Mac, Linux, and Microsoft. I did 6 videos of this 4 days ago. 4 days ago. And in response, they said, oh, we'll send someone right out with a new modem. And they did. And then right after he installed the new modem, he said, oh, wow, it's getting an update. And it did. It got the same stupid update that started all this problem. So it was the same system, and then they inject it with this update. That update is called 8560. Oh, it'll show in here. That update is, see how there's no update there right now? When I connect that to the internet, we will have 8658 or whatever it is underneath here. It'll say update something on the side. This is a good working thing right now, but when I clear my logs out, let's say I go to the firewall log, you see I have nothing in the firewall log and nothing in the system log. Well, it just started up, so I have a lot of this going on. But we just installed it to factory, so I shouldn't have any of this going on right here. I don't even know what that's all about, so let's clear that. And if there's anything in the event log, and there is, hijacked, 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 let's clear that. I'm going to go ahead and say restore it back to factory again. But before I do, I want to show you what happens after just a couple of minutes waiting here. While we wait, you're going to see some logs come in. Remember, we just deleted this? I'm going to go ahead and delete it again. Now that's communication, so that's no big deal. However, I want to make sure it's empty logs, and there we go. We have our first hijacks coming in rapidly. In fact, that's all there is coming in is hijacks. Redirects. Hijacks, redirect, hijack, redirect. This is not a good system. When monopoly controls hurls, that's not good. This is bad business. But they don't care, because where are you going when they're the only choice in town? So I'll clear the log again. And I'm going to reset this back to factory again. But that's just ridiculous that we have to go through this. They're back. Look, 3 more just came in to take their place. So, if you want to find out if you're the problem, that you're going to bad sites, it's very simple. Restore your computer to factory if you don't have another computer to work with. I have plenty of computers, but this is already restored back to factory. Otherwise, I would have my desktop picture on the desktop. You see the factory logo of Linux. So this is a brand new install. These are videos of this stupid router here, and I'm making another one here as we're speaking. So if I refresh this, we'll see the list get a little longer, and there you go. What can I do with this? When I'm trying to run a business in a server and keep a server online, what good is this kind of business? You can't blame this computer. So if you think that this octa-core is the problem, well, no problem. Let's go ahead and turn that octa-core off. Restore this thing back to restore the router back to factory. Disconnect the cable here. So I'm going to disconnect this cable, and I'm going to go find a laptop, and I'll be back to resume this video momentarily. And we'll hook up with a laptop that's freshly installed. How do I know it's freshly installed? Because it's my customer's computer. I just did it about an hour ago. This is a done deal right here. I've got a video on YouTube you can watch. And it came delivered in that box that's sitting down on the ground over there. Alright, so to restore it back to factory, you simply press that little button in the back and hold it in. for an extended period of time. And then release. In a few seconds it'll go blank, and the only thing that'll stop is the bottom three. This router's so slow too. It's like an old modem, I think. And there you go. So as that's resetting, and the only thing we have plugged in, we don't have the internet plugged in, so how can it get hijacked? Who's hijacking it? The hijack has to be inside of here. So we now are going to go get a brand new computer. I'm going to get my customer's computer over here, disconnect it, and bring it over there. And we're going to get the same results, I know, because I did 6 videos about 4 or 5 days ago, whatever it was, in succession, showing with 2 distributions of Linux and a live distro. That's another thing. We could run a virtual machine. It doesn't matter. If you run a disk, let's say I've got a live distro of Linux, say this one right here, so that I don't have to use my customer's hard drive to maybe be getting injected with this crap that Time Warner's doing. We can just boot it off of a live distribution of Linux, which it cannot, it's a read-only disk, so it cannot have a virus. It cannot have a Trojan horse, malware, spyware, or worm. And as soon as I locate where his, oh, well, you know what? Yeah. Okay, and I'll choose F9. Okay, I missed my cue. 1 second, I have to put the phone down. Either that or I pressed the wrong button. Okay, so in a few minutes that'll start up. I'm going to check on the progress of the AT&T slowest modem and router in the world right here. Ironically, they won't let you get your own modem. They make you have to get theirs. And this is what you look at for like 20 minutes for it to start up. So while it's doing that, I guess I could put the phone down for a minute and maybe have another cigarette. Okay, so no change on that super router that they give us. We have no choices. We will have their crap and nothing else. That's all there is to it. And in America, when we're being looted, if you go to us.clock.org, you'll see our country being actively looted. The clock is on live on us.clock.com. And you'll see we're 20 trillion in debt since 9/11. they've been pulling out, and according to the Bible, that doesn't end up too good at the end. When those lights start blinking at the bottom, I can access the router. And that'll take another 5 minutes or so. Okay, it just did something. So I'm going to guess that that is going to be resetting something inside. Oh, the update that they inject the router with is called 5268. I never was getting 5268 until I made a complaint online on their forum and stated that their hijack is a Trojan horse inside their router. It came delivered. The guy was standing right here. I purposely made sure that he didn't leave until he's seen something. And then he played dumb. Oh, well, I don't know. I just do the install. You know, there's other guys that know this, how to, you know, read the logs and know why things happen this way and that, but they're off today. There's only 2 of them and they're off today. I only know sports and something else he said, some stupid shit. Okay, so I think I can access the router now. We're running a virtual machine, so it takes a long time for it to load, but this is going to be the virtual machine, so there's no way this can have a virus, malware, spyware, Trojan, or worm. It's just totally freaking impossible. This one has Firefox already loaded, so I'll go ahead and start that up. And since it's running off a CD-ROM, it's not going to be speedy fast, especially since the owner only has 4 gigs of RAM and a dirty CD-ROM reader. Um, 192. Okay, we're brand new inside their router. You see the connection is down. We're not connected to the internet. I'm going to go to settings. I'm going to go to logs. And there you go. If you think that this is something that remained throughout the restore process, well, you can see when it started, it was restarted. There we go. And you can see the minutes of when it was done, 4:55. The date is really odd how they do this setup here. I don't know what is in that software that could be doing that, but I'll clear the logs. 1, 2, oh, it's going to ask me for a password. Okay, so the logs are cleared. Now we'll go and refresh. Yep, go ahead. Nothing yet. Refresh. Nothing yet. Give it a couple more seconds. Let me see what the firewall looks like. That's still empty because we're not doing anything on the internet. System log is showing all kinds of crazy, stupid, same thing. Error, 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 error. And it'll do that even if I'm connected to the net. Now look at this one. Look at this one. That is IPv6 right here, trying to get a hold of an unknown. It's a secure SSL, OpenSSL. They're using software in here that's already tainted, man. There it is again and again and again. This is a freshly restored system. There's no reason to have Trojans and redirects. I'll go ahead and clear that. Okay, so there's only 3 logs to be concerned about: event log, system log, and firewall log. I'll go ahead and event log, and now we should have some activity there, and we do. Hijacks and redirects. That's all that AT&T can offer us. And when you have monopoly control, you have nowhere else to go. You remember it had start at the bottom? There's no more start because we restored it back before I just deleted the log. So all this is new stuff right here. That's terrible. And then the firewall log, empty. And the system log is not empty. And here's where we're going to get the different things going on. And again, different things going on. Okay? So it's not the users out there. If you think you went to a bad site or something like that. No, 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 no. The monopoly control is the bad site. Your weakest link is not your computer. It is the internet provider's router and the internet provider themselves. When their solitary control is total control over the masses' ability to communicate over the internet, we have a problem. A very big national problem, and it's well known. Just Google national problem internet and read about it. It's all over. In other countries they're recognizing our problems, but in America we have a stifled monopoly control over media, also over our polity, over our children's education system. It's really a bad system. I mean, I was just recently turned down for a password. We can't even leave our own country yet. Our government mandated that other countries must, they even made a world law that every citizen of a country must have freedom to leave their country and return to the country from whence they came, wherever they came from. And here they flip the script and we can't even do it in our own nation's country. Alrighty, so there it is. 2 different computers, and this one's running a virtual machine. There's no way that this thing could have a problem in a Trojan horse. It has to be the router the internet provider gave us. Shut down.